Hi, I'm Jennifer and this is Kate, and today we're talking about anxiety and different Catholic ways to help overcome it. Recently, we asked you, our viewers, if you had any questions for us for a Q&A, and this is definitely a topic that a lot of you want to hear about.
So anxiety is something that definitely affects a lot of us nowadays, but the good news is we can definitely combat it with our faith.
So we know Jesus wants us to live in the peace that surpasses all understanding, but sometimes we wonder, how can we do that?
So today we have a few suggestions, so let's get started.
Okay, so right up front, for the record, we want to make it clear that, of course, we are not any type of professional counselors here. What we're sharing today is just the Catholic stuff that has worked for us.
So if you struggle with anxiety, then you are definitely not alone. But we think there are a lot of resources that we have as Catholics that can really help.
Of course, eating right, getting good exercise and sleep, those things are all important. But we think that the Catholic stuff that we do here is equally as helpful.
So one of our favorite ways is to remember that Jesus is bigger than whatever problem we're facing. So he is the Son of God. He rose from the dead. So obviously he is bigger than the insurance struggles or the mistake you made or whatever is coming in the future. He's already on top of all of it.
So that sounds really simple, but it's funny how often we forget it here. Kate often has to remind me, like, hey, Jesus, he's bigger than any problem. So we try to keep that in mind, as well as praying that no matter what's going on, we pray that God's will may be done.
So we know that God's will is perfect. So if we pray that it will be done, then we can have peace. And we might not always like what God's will is, but we know that he sees the bigger picture. He knows things that we don't, so we can trust him.
We also like to pray that God will bring good out of whatever situation.
So sometimes we feel anxious because we don't know what's going to happen or what the fallout will be. But if we pray that good will come out of that situation, then it helps immediately put our minds at ease.
Okay, now we're getting into some more specifically Catholic things that we do here to decrease our anxiety. And for me, at least, going to daily Mass has been huge. Whenever I receive Jesus in Holy Communion, I know that I can draw on his strength and he's going to give me the grace to calm down and get through the day. When my dad was sick and, fading away from dementia, daily Mass was absolutely a lifeline.
But if you can't get to daily Mass because of work or whatever reason, you could also stop by the Adoration Chapel and just sit for a few minutes and let Jesus love you and calm you down.
Another thing we like to do here when we're stressed or anxious is to break out the holy water. You know that we love it. We use it liberally. And whenever we're feeling really anxious, we will take it out and use it to bless ourselves.
Because we know that these feelings of anxiety don't come from God, who is all love, but they are a way that the devil can plague us. So holy water is a great defense.
Whenever I think of holy water, I always think of Saint Teresa of Avila because she was a firm believer in holy water to chase away the devil.
So speaking of the saints, reading about their lives has also been something that's really helped. Seeing the problems that they faced and the challenges that they overcame and seeing how God worked in their lives has brought us a lot of comfort.
The saints are also just full of such good wisdom for us. One of them, we can't remember if it was St. John Vianney, it might have been St. Francis de Sales, said that when those feelings of anxiety creep up on you, you go do whatever you need to do to take your mind off them.
So dance, sing, go for a walk, whatever it is, just give yourself permission to not fret for a while.
Because giving yourself a mental break is so helpful. It is exhausting when we're continually thinking thoughts that we don't even want to think in the first place.
Remember, Thomas Aquinas recommended a hot bath and a glass of wine when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Picking a patron saint to help work with you on whatever it is that's causing you anxiety is another strategy that has worked for us. For example, if you're anxious at work, maybe you're worried about losing your job or what your coworkers are doing or saying, then you can call on St. Joseph the Worker to help you.
Or you could go to the next level and ask St. Joseph to literally go to work with you to help you stay calm.
Oh my goodness, that's something that I do all the time, especially for doctor appointments, or if I have to go to the dentist or the eye doctor, I always call on the Blessed Mother, St. Anne, and St. Therese to go with me. Now I know that may sound weird, but it is hugely helpful.
So next we have a couple of favorite prayers that we like to say. The first one is the Memorare. So whenever that anxiety ramps up, we like to stop and ask the Blessed Mother for help.
The opening lines of that prayer are, "Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your assistance, or sought your intercession was ever left unaided." So, wow, I mean, right there, you call on her, she is going to come help you.
And then the St. Michael prayer is the other one. Again, we know these feelings are a way the devil can torment us, so calling on St. Michael for protection is the way to go.
Keeping a rosary in your pocket is another great anxiety reducer. Just have it in your pocket or somewhere on you. Whenever you're feeling stressed, just pull it out and even just hold on to it. It's like holding on to the Blessed Mother's hand.
That is something a lot of the saints did, and this can also be especially helpful at night if you can't sleep, just to have the rosary right there with you.
Listening to Catholic or even just Christian music is another big help for us here. We especially like to do this in the car.
So you can just turn on the radio and then there's someone out there musically reminding you how great God is, and that's a big win.
Another big win is trying to live only in the present moment. In the Bible, Jesus reminds us that none of us can add even a single day to our lives by worrying.
So this is something we're really trying to take to heart here, because how often have we worried and stressed over something that never actually ended up happening?
And I don't know about you guys, but never once have I ever been able to change the past by worrying about it or reliving it over and over in my mind.
And then lastly, we did want to mention that God has created different medications and techniques to help manage anxiety. So if you have really bad anxiety and you've tried everything and nothing helps, then of course there is nothing wrong with going to see a Catholic counselor or going to see a doctor.
Okay, so that is a look at several of the Catholic things that we do here to help us reduce our stress and anxiety.
So let us know down in the comments if you have any other strategies that you recommend.
So we hope the video was helpful for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.